Well, Mal, why don't you go next?
Okay. Well, this weekend I decided to finally get around to watching The Witcher, which at time of recording is just a little under a month old.
In which
so.
way does one watch The Witcher?
It is on Netflix. It is a Netflix original. I believe they wanted it to be their Game of Thrones. At least that's what gets said a lot in like.
That's going to be like every fantasy show that's coming out in like the next 3 or 4 or 5 or forever. Like Wheel of Time's going to be that. The new Lord of the Rings show, everybody's going to be saying that. You know,
it is a dark and gritty political fantasy franchise.
Yeah, show.
I hate those kind of
based on novels.
Those are the worst kind of franchises. That's why I play L5R. L5R is never like
that. So if you don't know what The Witcher is, this is it's based on a book series of the same name, Polish, written by. Let's see how much I butcher this.
Can Mal pronounce this name?
Here we go.
Andrzej Sapkowski. I don't know how to pronounce the first name. That's really hard.
It's all right. It's all just letters to me.
They released the first season, which is 8 episodes, on December 20th, 2019, and it was really good. It's a little weird, but it follows 3 main characters. Geralt of Rivia, who you may know if you've played the Witcher video games, which take place way after these books. There are how many books are there? There's 8 books. And the games are after that. So Geralt of Rivia, played by Henry Cavill, who I did not expect to do so good as Geralt. Like Superman from the latest Superman or whatever.
Yeah, he's really good in it.
Yeah.
He loves the voice. He loves the source material, so
he nails the voice. Like when I heard him, I'm like, wow, that's Geralt. Geralt, whatever. And then there is Yennefer of Vendenberg, who's played by Anya Chalotra, and then Cintran, Princess of Cintran, Ciri, who's played by Freya Allen, and Geralt's definitely the best part.
I'm not even surprised.
Yeah. What I saw, because I've only seen 4 episodes.
Right.
I like Yennefer too. Ciri's kind of like, out of the 3, my least favorite. Yeah, but she doesn't really do anything for the first 4 episodes, but like run around and run away.
That's basically her entire story. She doesn't really get. There's not much for her to really do much of anything other than run from, because, so each story also takes place in its own like timeline or what, like I don't know how to exactly.
Yeah, it's a non-sequential. The episodes aren't in like order exactly.
Yeah, each person's story is sequential.
Yeah,
all of Geralt's things is sequential, and all the series and Yennefer's but when you cut to a character, like series is all basically present time. Yennefer and Geralt's are like about 100 or so years, like it takes place over, because they have magic and they can live for a really long time. And
is the power that anybody can learn, or is it not one of the Jedi?
So Geralt is a mutant. He was forced into being a Witcher, which they hunt monsters, and they drink these potions that basically mutate them, and that's why he's like, he's got super strength. And
wait, does he have to keep drinking the potion, or does he just drink it like
no?
one?
No, there's like a trial. This is all like, they haven't explained this in the show at all. This is all like from playing the games, but yeah, there's I think like 3 in 10 boys who go through the Witcher training live.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's a good odds.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah,
it's great odds. I like them.
And then Yennefer is a sorceress who just mages can I don't know if there's an upper limit. I don't know that much about
how sorcery is, but she was like found by a like like a very powerful sorceress, basically. So I guess she recognized her magical talent. I can't remember exactly.
There's she accidentally created a portal, and that led a sorceress from basically the sorcery school to her, and you have to. You can't. No, not everyone can become someone who can control magic or whatever. It's only certain people have that ability.
Or you get turned into an eel.
Well, that's not even.
No, I'm just saying.
Those are still people with power. Like, like other people just have zero, can't do anything with it, or can't do any sort of magic. But so Geralt just gets to be a character, like gets to do things. Like he gets like all the downtime, and he's not always like, I don't know. He's not. He hates the political side of things, so he's not always deep in it. Which Yennefer is like sorcerer. She's the sorcerer.
She becomes like a court mage, basically.
Yeah, they train sorcerers and sorceresses to then go into all these monarchs' courts and everything. So basically, they can control the continent. Like, is the idea of that. So they're trying to they try to keep peace as they see it on the continent. And I think I love Geralt because he's a main character, but he does not want to be one.
Yes.
Yeah, those are always
like the
good.
best main character you could possibly be.
He's just always like frustrated with the situation. Like, it's like, ugh.
His perfect life, or at least as he sees possible, is just to kill monsters, get paid, repeat. And he keeps getting drawn into all this sorts of things. Like, and Destiny has other plans for him, basically.
Geralt is like the main, like a player trying to do the main quest, and every time they try to complete the quest, like 15 people jump out of the bush and say, "I have a problem."
I mean, he's basically just trying to do the Witcher contract side missions. He's not even trying to do the main.
He's trying to do the main storyline. He's just doing all the contracts.
That's like, I just want to do like the hunt and gather quests, basically.
Which I would watch a show of just that.
Yeah,
like that's how much I love it.
The choreography for the fights is like pretty good too.
It is so good.
Do they do a lot of cameras zipping around, or is it like long, steady shots?
It's a mix, I guess.
Yeah, I would say it's a mix of both. Like the first episode has probably, I think, I think like the fight at the end of the first episode has a lot of like long shots and stuff. And then,
sort of,
they mix it up.
Yeah, they mix it up, but it's it's done really well. For the like the first episode, like just that fight scene is so good.
Like it's already like very much better than like probably like the halfway point of Game of Thrones. It is like fight choreography was like not good for many seasons.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned it right before we started, but episode 6 is kind of the worst episode, I feel. Even that fight is just, the choreography is just so much lacking. Like, unfortunately, the director just does not nail that episode compared to the other.
He's just like, well, we'll do 2 takes. That's fine. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it even has some crappy CGI. Like, on par with like Game of Thrones is my understanding, but yeah, it's pretty brutal though at times. Though they don't really linger on it, which is nice as someone who doesn't care for like all the gore and stuff. But I wasn't sure how that was going to go. But yeah, like people's heads like just getting torn off and stuff.
Yeah, it's not like super gruesome, or at least what I saw.
There are some shots, especially a couple later in the series, actually, I think just to show the gravity of things. But like, I mean, he just decimates a bunch of people in the first episode, but like the focus is never on the bodies, basically just on him. And then so going back to like why I don't love Yennefer as much is because honestly all of the sorcerers and sorceresses kind of come off as like immature teenagers to a degree.
Like they kind of are
like bickering, and like they all like, despite being hundreds of years old, they kind of act like, you know, they just act really immature. And I just I mean there's it's not like it's not all bad, but they can just kind of get annoying. But overall, the story does feel a little awkward. I think mainly because it's a collection of short stories, which is how these
Really?
episodes. Yeah. So the first two books are a collection of short stories, which is what this first season is based on. So sometimes the episodes, like they'll jump, be like, oh yeah, I did this for 30 years. And you'll just be like, oh, okay. Well, that's another thing is they don't really explicitly explain the whole different time. Like if they just had a date, right? If they just had the date pop up when you went to a new character, especially like at least the first time in an episode or whatever, just to kind of give you some bearing. But you kind of just have to pick up on it. Like there's one part where Geralt's dealing with a monarch Foltest, and then like it cuts to Yennefer in a court, and it's with or no. Actually, does that? Now I'm trying to remember.
I don't know, Mao. I was riveting, but
sorry, I was trying to remember if it actually does go back into its own storyline or not. But
from what a friend told me, he said they say it does jump around in the storyline a bit.
Yeah, but like
it's not always forward or backwards.
So he's dealing with like an older monarch Foltest in the third episode, which is Ob's favorite and probably up there for mine. And then it cuts to a different person, and like it's Foltest as a kid. Like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, there he is. And like if you aren't really paying attention, you might not catch that it is the older guy from Geralt's story part.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah, it is. I think it's Yennefer. It is. Yeah. Because yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it. I watched the first 4 episodes at Mom's on Christmas. She had no clue what was going on.
That's gotta be weird.
It wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was weird sometimes.
I assume she's just not. She's probably not like into the whole. Or she has no idea what Witcher was. I assume, right?
No, she had no clue.
Yeah.
She just like, I think for like probably most like, well, I guess what I'd call normies. I don't know, but like it is kind of hard even for me to follow like someone who didn't really know anything about the Witcher setting, really.
Right.
Like some
like
of the
they definitely
like
could
kingdoms and like I was like, all right, who's the Empire? Well, I guess they're just evil and invading. Like what is this kingdom?
Better about explaining everything.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like it was. Maybe they were just testing to see how well it'd be receptive.
I could totally see them like. I mean, I haven't seen the second half of the season, but just from what I've heard, I could totally see them doing a more like focused narrative in the second part.
So I know like there's like the 3 main characters aren't always together in the future books. So there'll probably be some jumping around, but the time won't jump around necessarily unless you're doing specifically flashbacks. Like. Basically, after the first season, it's all like current. Like basically, there's one time period, like to stay in. So that'll at least help with that weirdness.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. They said they started pre-production. I think Henry Cavill like put on his Instagram that they started pre-production for season 2. So
yeah, like almost immediately got renewed.
Yeah, I have no idea when season 2 will come out. Hopefully this year, but I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, they got season 1 done pretty quick. Maybe they'll increase the budget, like fix some of the CGI stuff.
Yeah, CGI could, in some places, I guess, could be a little better.
Some of the monsters don't look great. Like the first episode, like the spider thing in the swamp, I did not think that looked very good, but...
Oh, I thought it looked fine.
I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't like... It was a little jarring.
I don't know. The costuming's great except for one thing, which they've already said they're fixing. The Nilfgaard army, which is the big bad guys, basically, or sort of. I mean, everyone's kind of a bad guy.
Doesn't that sound like that just sounds like an evil empire name, right?
Right. Nilfgaardian army. Well, everyone calls them the scrotum armor because it's all like wrinkly. Like,
yeah.
That's
what my roommate refers to them as.
Which they've already said they're gonna fix, so we'll see how that ends up looking.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, everyone's kind of a dick. Which my theory is that they make everyone seem awful, so that even Geralt, who is not like a typical hero, like seems good in comparison.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's all about the song at the end of the 7th episode, too.
At the end of the
Second episode, yeah.
The
Bard.
yeah, second episode. Yep,
Toss a coin
song
to your
is
Witcher.
really catchy, actually.
Yeah.
Toss a coin to your Witcher. It's really good. I liked it. Yeah, Yasker is a great, like, he's a traveling bard who just basically forces his way into Geralt's life, and he's great.
Amazing.
Yeah, but Geralt is always like trying. He's like, I don't want to have anything to do with anyone. Go away, leave me alone. But like, he doesn't actually generally force people away, which is like I mentioned in like our chat a little while ago. I'm pretty sure he's just tsundere.
Yeah.
Like
he really wants to be a good guy deep down.
Right. Like he does actually care for people, even though despite what he says.
Despite what he says.
Yeah. It's pretty great. So yeah, I recommend it.
I need to watch the rest of it.
You should.
I just haven't got around. I just keep forgetting about it.
I just need to start it.
You do need to start it.
I do.